Okay. Thank you for having me here today. I'm going to talk about one particular case where the company I work with, UNSILO, worked with Carter Medical Publishers on creating a tool that combines human and machine curation for packaging content or for collection building. So you probably experienced this before, right? Are you ever surprised sometimes about how quickly things normalize, right? When something new arrives, right, you only really notice what it's contributed when you look back. Like this cartoon sort of exemplifies that, and I think we'll find something similar with AI, right? Where we think, this is sort of like it's fairly predictable. Then maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we're going to look back and we're going to be surprised over how far it's come. And we're probably also going to be laughing a bit at some of our approaches to some of this stuff today. Of course, a curve like this would look slightly different, right? It would have ups and downs, a bit more like the Gartner hype cycle, right? So it wouldn't be like a nice progression like that. And then probably there would also be sort of an influx of Amara's law that says something to the effect of that we tend to overestimate the impact of technology in the short term. We tend to underestimate the impact of technology in the long term. So UNSILO was founded in 2012. Our two founders, one came from Siri, that was acquired by Apple, where he was head of design, and the other one was working with a biomimetic company. And they got together and they decided to start a company that tried to make it easier to discover relevant knowledge and patterns across text. We're approximately 30 people now, headquartered in Denmark, with sales offices in the UK and the US. And I'm in the US, I'm in San Francisco. Part of our spiel is that we don't require taxonomies or ontologies. We can integrate with them, but we don't require them. We deploy over the cloud, a lot of APIs, a lot of custom APIs. We think we're very good at extracting concepts, and the concepts that we extract are very clean, and because we're able to establish very good sort of relatedness between documents and between people and profiles. These are many of the things that we have done. Some of them have been deployed, some of them have not, some of them died on the drawing board. Others are waiting for partners who want to pay to deploy them. But it's sort of just a view of the many ideas. And I'll share the slides afterwards, and then you can zoom in and you can see sort of the themes there. But it's just to illustrate that there's so many things this can be used for, and I'm sure if we revisit this a year from now, that it'll look different again, maybe larger. Some things will have disappeared, but overall, the things that we tend to work on, right, are about reducing effort, cost, time, semi-automating evaluation of content, matching people with content, curating, summarizing content. So we're going to be looking a bit at the curation piece, indicating trends and patterns from across the data. And then trying to lift discovery and search, making it slightly smarter. So there's something I like to do, a sort of show of hands. How many of you think, how long will it be before AI finds common utility in your publishing? Like 10 years from now, do you think AI will be common in your publishing? Show of hands. All right, so that's, I don't know, that's 80, 90%, right? So what about 5 years from now? That's maybe half. What about 2 years from now, right? And maybe 30% or so. So this is just to illustrate that, this thing is coming, right? It's not imagination. It is happening. It's already happening now, and it'll happen more. And I'm sure there'll be questions about, how do we manage this, and how do we ensure that it doesn't run away from us? And the example I'm going to show today is sort of an illustration of one approach to how we can combine people and machines and sort of try and extract the best from both worlds. So the case Carger, and Michael asked us to go through some different things. So I'll describe some challenges, our approach, and some of the benefits. So the key challenge they had was that it was difficult. It was time consuming and very manual for them to generate subject collections. And they have a business of selling either custom collections but also predefined subject collections, but at the content level. So not necessarily just let's take all our books in one topic and all our journals in a topic, but actually picking chapters and articles at the document level. So they wanted to reduce how manual this was, have a different search approach internally in their workflows, and then some long-term goal of trying to bring more automation into to the generation of these packages. They already had a business around it, and it was very much a question about how do we scale this efficiently? How do we take the same team that we have now and make them more efficient, make them capable of creating more packages with the same amount of people, and creating good packages. So in February 2017, there was a kickoff meeting. UNSILO went down to Carger in Switzerland, and we had a workshop there. And now I'll just take you through some slides on what they were doing up until that point in approaching this, right? So when they would be putting together packages, right, they would run searches like these, like very long Boolean searches. And this is how they would do their search in a system. This is how they would evaluate the different search results they got and select the content, primarily articles or chapters for the package, right? This is how they would prepare exporting that package, right? And this is a spreadsheet rendering of what the export file would look like. So we agreed with them to try and develop this thing called a package manager to enable their editors to create and manage packages using some automation without going totally bananas on automating everything, but with some automation introduced. We agreed a fairly ambitious roadmap, and 3 months later in May, we launched the product. There was a lot of ongoing collaboration, including this solution, a lot of like feedback loops, face-to-face, a lot of Skype meetings, a lot of adjustments. But what I'll do now, because I also wanted to do a demo, and I just knew I was going to screw it up if I tried to do this, right? Carger aren't here, so I can't do that, right? So, but we have 3 very brief 1-minute videos. I'm going to play them and just provide some context that will sort of demonstrate and give you a feel for how this thing works. So first, we're going to look at how concepts are selected for a package. So concepts equaling, keywords or terms, and you'll notice in the demo video that we talk of a package as a class. The tool is called Classify. It's about classifying content. So let's see if this is going to work out, if it'll let me actually play a video here. Oh, it will. So now I just need to... Is this the right one? I hope so.
How to create a class.
Can I catch it though? How do you go?
Once you decide to create a class, the first thing you have to do is to name it. After you have done that, you're presented with class settings that help you define the contents of the class. By choosing a few very specific concepts, you can ensure that documents matched to this class are closely related to the exact topic you want to target. Once a concept has been added, you can choose to boost or block it. Boosting it will select more documents with a focus on that concept, and blocking it will suppress documents that mention it. You can also at any time remove previously added concepts that are no longer relevant. You can also apply filters to your content. For example, you can set a start and end date. This will filter your content based on publication date. Not setting an end date will allow future documents to be matched to your class. You can also include or exclude specific publications to prevent their content from being included in your class.
Sorry, so it had to go wrong. So you didn't actually see a video. I was struggling here to get the video on. So if you don't mind me, we'll just... Crap. So number 1. Okay, we'll do it like that. Pardon. Just bear with me and we'll get through this.
How to extract content from a class.
No, it's completely frozen still.
Documents queued up for manual inspection can either be approved or excluded. To support that decision, you can review these documents inside Classify simply by clicking on their titles. This will display more information about the document, including the key concepts of the document, and the specific concepts that match your class settings. If you need to dive even deeper, you can review the abstract or the full text with the key concepts highlighted. Once you have reviewed all the queued up documents, you can view the full list of all documents, both manually and automatically approved. When you're satisfied, you can click Export to download the list of GUIs as XML. If Classify is integrated with your content delivery system,
Can I just, I knew it. It had to be screwed up. Is it here? This one here? Okay. Let me try here. Class creation. And let's bring this baby up. Okay.
how to create a class.
There we go. Sorry. Now we'll try.
Once you decide to create a class, the first thing you have to do is to name it. After you have done that, you're presented with class settings that help you define the contents of the class. By choosing a few very specific concepts, you can ensure that documents matched to this class are closely related to the exact topic you want to target. Once a concept has been added, you can choose to boost or block it. Boosting it will select more documents with a focus on that concept, and blocking it will suppress documents that mention it. You can also at any time remove previously added concepts that are no longer relevant. You can also apply filters to your content. For example, you can set a start and end date. This will filter your content based on publication date. Not setting an end date will allow future documents to be matched to your class. You can also include or exclude specific publications to prevent their content from being included in your class.
There. Thank you. And we'll just go straight to the next one, and I'll get back to the slides instead of going in and out of these. Now we're going to look at here.
How to evaluate class results.
So now you've selected your class, and
Once
you're
you're
going to have
done
an
setting up a
editor
class,
look at
you can
them and
evaluate the
decide which
results
ones to put
immediately.
into the package.
At the top of the class screen, you can see the inspection filter. The inspection filter is a histogram that shows the distribution of matched documents according to their relevance to the topic of your class. The most relevant documents are displayed to the right and the less relevant on the left. By moving the sliders, you can set the threshold for automatic discarding and approval, and control the amount of content queued up for manual inspection. These documents are the edge cases that human editors should spend their time reviewing. Below the inspection filter is a list of the documents that have been queued up for inspection. If you click on a specific bar in the inspection filter, Classify displays the corresponding documents in the list below.
Yeah. And then finally, let me just show you a quick one that illustrates how you then export those files.
How to extract content from a class. Documents queued up for manual inspection can either be approved or excluded. To support that decision, you can review these documents inside Classify simply by clicking on their titles. This will display more information about the document, including the key concepts of the document, and the specific concepts that match your class settings. If you need to dive even deeper, you can review the abstract or the full text with the key concepts highlighted. Once you have reviewed all the queued up documents, you can view the full list of all documents, both manually and automatically approved. When you're satisfied, you can click Export to download the list of GUIs as XML. If Classify is integrated with your content delivery system, automatically approved documents can be forwarded to your subscribers in real time with no human intervention required.
So the idea being, once you've set your classifier and determined sort of what you're interested in, right, and you may spend a lot of time with this, but you'll see this slider, right, and as an editor works with the content that's coming through over the months, that window will typically start narrowing, and they'll get more and more precise about what it is they're interested in. And then as new content comes in, it can filter through automatically, right? Maybe to a point where you close the slider, or where you just have less and less content that you need to inspect. So I'll do this quickly. Sorry, I'm running a bit over due to the unfortunate. Let's run through here. Go through these. So 3 months later, and we saw these, and so the key benefits that Carger have from this, right, is higher quality curation, and these are their words. They're very satisfied with the quality of the packages they're able to create. They've increased their revenue with the program. I can't say how much. That's confidential, but they've increased the revenue, which was also part of their target, and they've been able to. Not just reduce their internal costs, but also to be able to provide more incentivizing pricing to their customers, especially around the custom packages, so the one-off packages. And they've been able to generate more packages with the same sized team. So what's next? There's a lot of iteration with Classify, and there continues to be. We're in constant contact with Carger, and we're tweaking things all the time, and I'll skip the detail on that given the time. UNSILO is looking more at semi-evaluation of manuscripts and their pre-publication workflow, sort of unrelated to Classify. How do we actually support people making decisions about what should be published? And then, of course, we're interested in more collaborative solutions along these lines, where a publisher has a very specific problem that we develop a solution for, like we did with Carger in the matter of 3 months' time. And that's it. I'm sorry I went over time and the chaos with the videos.